Good evening, dear listener. Hope all is well on your Hallows Eve. Tonight, Nerdities brings you something a little different. Something a bit more spooky. We invite you to sit back, turn down the lights, munch on that Halloween candy that you have in front of you, and listen in on the tale of Dark Days of Brickton, our very own comic book. Issues 1 and 2. Nerdities Comics presents Dark Days of Brickton, issue number 1, One Big Happy, written by Justin Patterson and Michael Higgins, art by Michael Higgins. November 3rd, 1870, Vatican City, Rome.
A commencement of Earth's most unlikely and quite possibly catastrophic undertaking. The potential for so many disparate and strong-willed personalities communing in one place to devolve into an uncontrollable rate brings me fear. An emotion I have rarely faced for many hundreds of years. I am also afraid that if every one of these meetings is this tense and laborious, I may kill them all. Fortunately, in the name of all things good and sacred, that isn't me in there.
I suppose now would be the time to speak, hopefully in some way, to ease your obvious concerns. Though I can imagine a talking fish man could well do the opposite. I am Vano, king and leader of the last children of Atlantis, and my children need your help. I need your help.
Why is that?
Well, I say this with no great ego, since the fact has gained us very little. But my people had knowledge far beyond your current achievements as we did this all 7,000 years ago.
Flashback.
Our modest isle, my people created society, law, science, ethics, during the same period your ancestors were struggling with language. We excelled at shaping not only our surroundings, but our minds and bodies to fit our needs. The results, as you see, is something far sight from human, far from natural. My ancestors understood many things, of chief importance for most, being moderation. This, like most things, would not last. From there, all that need happen was simple convergence of events on the most important day for us, when all wayward souls returned home for our greatest celebration. We felt our greatest tragedy. An explosion in one of our storage tanks caused a chain reaction, destroying all of the reserves and crippling an already overburdened structure. In less than an hour, a society of millions that have touched every corner of the globe was reduced to less than 1,000 souls on a handful of ships. Time, tide, aggression, and misfortune left us few. Travelers on the ship Black Lagoon, the living legacy of Atlantis. This time, an age of peace, is a first in millennia of our kind that made landfall and have been driven back to the sea. We owe this comfort in no small part to our benefactor.
Interior. Subterranean level of Lord Dracula's castle.
Count Vladimir Dracul Tepesh, savior of the fair.
That would be I, Lord of the Manor. Despite the layers of sadness in that tale, I attempt to be present for each monthly telling. At the heart, it is a story of hope, that no matter what pain and loss beyond perception, sins of the past do not have to dictate the state of the present, nor assure the trajectory of one's future. A notion of great import to me personally. Master, there is much to be done before your journey. Renee, if you insist, such shows of subordination, a simple sir will do. I am no longer anyone's master. Oui, my lord, absolutely. As you wish, there are many matters to address. My lord. A very reasonable compromise, yes. There are always matters at hand, always something needs to be done. Someone's interests need attending. Mark my words and ask Vano if you don't believe me. The only thing harder than being a leader is being a fair leader. Oui. The big one has a problem that he claims is of the utmost importance. At least, I believe that is what he's trying to say. Then it most certainly is. I just hope we have time enough to hear it. Victor, what do you require, old friend?
Breakthrough. I need to use the... Please ask Vano. I know what...
Victor, this sounds dire, indeed. Perhaps you should write it down. What was that nonsense? I find it more and more preposterous that he is as brilliant as you claim. To my knowledge, intelligence and pace are not mutually exclusive. I have faith that even in his current state of mind, Victor will make more important discoveries in a year's time than most of his peers will in their entire lives. And I can't help but appreciate the irony of a common vampire who is about to walk face first into the light of the day, questioning someone else's intellect. With any luck, someday you'll be able to find someone to help you with that problem.
Exterior Dracula's castle. 2 beasts locked in mortal combat. Every month, as the moon grows full, every month is the same mad struggle. A lunar-inspired power play. Every last time, each and every month. Age and experience win the day.
The full moon returns far too quickly, Eric.
Same time every month. Same time.
Same thing. Did you kill this one?
Doubtful. But he won't be ready to challenge again until next season at the earliest. Do you have time to talk now?
Yes. I was on my way to you when fate made my search that much easier.
My apologies regarding the blood. I would wipe my hands, but my only handkerchief is currently in use for something quite important.
It's nothing I haven't touched before.
My scouts picked up a scent in the woods between here and the town this afternoon. One that's very important to both of us.
Yes, this definitely isn't one of yours.
There was more than one marker found, but this is their strongest. Their alpha.
Rogue pack. Damn. What gloriously horrible timing.
There's more, and it only confuses things even further. No tracks, no broken underbrush, just scent.
They use the trees?
Not if they could avoid it. My kind strays from heights whenever possible. Who do we send?
Oh, normally I would want to have you to be involved in any first contact. To make the offer with such important guests tonight, I need you here, Renee. Renee will take a pack of our choosing out to locate them and keep track. And what to bring the boy? He is your son, your choice. Gather your supplies and meet here for your team. Oui, Lord, oui.
If only all of mine were so submissive.
Oh, don't be so sure. After a while, I would rather he just attacked me. Matters in my study call. I will see you when I return, after dusk.
After dusk, then.
We're not the first to join this venture. Having Eric Lobson and his people here may will be the most fortuitous addition of all, as well as the most unlikely. The irony is lost on neither of us. For hundreds of years we both commanded legions of our kinds, with the sole purpose of destroying the other. It was our war by right, if not by choice. He from the light and I the Lord of Darkness had literally shed each other's blood more times than could be tracked. Now we together, because we know there is no one else planning for us. The enemy who was never truly my enemy can now finally be a friend. What a friend to have. His help has not only built this castle, but will hopefully one day unite all of the disparate wolf clans, so they may know this place of peace.
Foolish me. I thought we could have a quiet moment. But as always, there is work to be done.
No, for the source of my happiness there is always a moment. For you, I would stop time itself in this place of love.
Outside of Dracula's study, perches a man atop the stone walls, pondering how he has gotten to this point in his life. I have battled the dead, the undead, and seen the fall of every society and led a charge directly into hell. Met blades with the thing that bore fear into this world and walked away unblemished. But the most frightful thing I have ever encountered is freedom. I know what I do is right. Every mouth I have ever heard at one time or another screams for freedom, to break whatever chains, either real or perceived, that holds them down, their eyes always indignant, righteous until they are truly free. I know what I do benefits all. Strip away all law, all overseers, replace their personal infrastructure with chaos, force them to make every decision for themselves. Then look into those eyes. You will see fear, and they will know it. I know where I am needed. When the Equilibrium War ended, the Maker began his exodus. He took with him a select few spirits. His opposite, the Morning Star, Satan, what have you, followed suit. This, after all, is the truth of their battle. Not about power of control, but the competition of war. Never did find out who won. Those of us left behind, be they admiral, general, private, or pawn, were alone, without direction or purpose, completely free and utterly afraid. Even the Lord of all Night couldn't escape this fear. So he put that fear into the meek for hundreds of years until he remembered love. And found it, or it found him, whatever the order of things. That was the fertile soil my greatest hope for the future needed to begin its growth. And these are the heights it did reach. Oh, it would seem these two seeds need a bit more time to germinate.
You don't need to do this every month. Once was silly enough. But at this point...
These are the parameters agreed upon by all, yourself included.
Yes. Before I actually thought anyone would keep to it. You get flown into town, meet up with their party, escort them here for me to ride back there for a few days. Excessive, no?
No. Yes, maybe. On any average day, possibly. We just found signs of a splinter pack in the East Wood. These are the days we laid this plan out for. So, as ever, more so than ever, I must go first.
Fine. Go. Just don't take your time these days apart. 3 days apart is already more than I'm comfortable with.
As you wish, my mistress. Edmund, you can come in now.
Be sure to pack light. Outside the castle walls, flying high above the forest, Edmund is now carrying his dear friend into town. She's right, you know. This is unnecessary.
Ooh, the powers of the Grigori are varied indeed. You can even see the future now, eh?
Why do so many smart people resort to sarcasm that they may avoid a serious discourse? Our shared perspective is that this gesture is a waste of time and effort on all accounts. An escort for the people put in place to kill you in the event that our efforts fall tragically short. This seems to go beyond even your tendencies for self-abuse. It simply makes no sense.
I will grant you the same response as if I now have 2 wives to satiate. We, all of us, came to these terms together for the protection of all involved. There is no change to this monthly pattern. Tonight above any other, considering the new guest.
Well, now.
I'm starting to think you just don't like going out at night.
Whatever reason would I have for that?
We got here just in time then. We would really have to work those wings, huh?
Ha, yes, fine. I'll go secure the carriage.
Safe to say I know a little bit about a fella's looks, being all people seem to care about. But he gotta know we've seen some stranger shit than him since y'all folks moved in. He still feels every last eye on him, huh?
Strange shit indeed. Though some of us stand out more than others. There are some who don't even have another like us to truly confide our pain.
That kind of hurt.
That kind. So, is he here?
Yes, indeed. Charlie's all fixed, horses fed and chewed, and our new arrival has been waiting in there for about 3 hours now.
Ooh, there is no way around it. This will be a painful ride.
This is why I shy away from public houses.
Dracula enters the Red Lion, a local establishment, and there's a bit of tension in the air.
All manner of lowly creatures can simply traipse their way in.
We have all been hoping to maintain some level of civility.
You want civil? Fine. You can start by taking my bag.
The end of issue 1. And now a few words of thanks from the Dark Days crew. Hello, my name is Justin Patterson, and I'm the co-writer of the story. I'd like to take a second and thank you, the reader, or listener in this matter, for purchasing this comic book, listening to this podcast. I give you my word that this investment will pay off. The journey you are about to embark on is epic, so hold on tight and enjoy this world. Thank you again. Justin Patterson, co-creator and COO of Nerdities LLC.
Well, I hope you're all happy now. Literally, I hope everyone who reads this, or listens to this, is happy with their purchase or time spent. Or pleasantly surprised that a friend handed you this issue or told you about the podcast. And by the time you reach these words, have considered your time well spent. Time's a huge component here. The hours we took to design, write, and draw this 20 pages, days upon days of brainstorming a myriad of ideas, both grand and shit, decades of practice and study of our betters to do what they do in our strange style. So, are you happy? I'm sure I am. Thanks to all the helpers from way down in the cockles. Grazie. Michael Higgins, co-creator and CCO, Nerdities LLC.
I'd like to thank the Academy, Jameson Irish Distillers, and Yeezus, with whom all things are possible. In all seriousness, I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of my loving family and the encouragement of friends both old and new. Oh, and shout out to the other two goons on this page. Without them, this company would never have existed in the first place. This issue marks the first step for what will hopefully be a marathon career in the comic book industry. I truly hope reading our work brings as much joy to you as it did for us while creating it. Enjoy. Kyle Hauser, CFO, Nerdities LLC.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Nerdtone Records presents the Monster Mashup of Monster Mash, featuring stars of the WWE or F.
I was working in my lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight, yeah!
For my monster from his slab began to rise. And suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash! It caught on in a flash! He did the mash! He did the monster mash, what?
From the laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast.
Oscar and Emmy were the actors. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight.
for my monster from his slab began to rise. Hoo-ah! And suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash. It was caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash.
From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast.
Random animated characters. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight or something. I don't know.
for my monster from his slab began to rise. And suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash. It's caught on in a flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash.
Oh, from the laboratory in the castle east where the vampires master bedroom where the vampires feast.
Featuring versions by The Beatles, the 1985 Chicago Bears, and the biggest monster of all, Joel Osteen. Coming to stores never!
Dark Days of Brickton, Issue 2. One Big Happy Part 2. Brickton, New Jersey, October 1875. On a shadowy lane back to Dracula's castle.
You all still kicking back there, right? I mean, we'd have heard a commotion like that. The damage y'all can do. Hell, a throat clearing would be nice.
Well, There that is.
Anyone know a good story? Yeah, I have one. Besides the Count, the Gargoyle, and myself, who here knows the true origins of our world? I thought none. This ground we travel on, in fact every inch of our orb, was a lifeless lump, millions and millions of years back. I mean, only thing we had going was water, size, and distance. Those three things attracted the Maker. It started small, as all life often does. Bugs, plants, and the like. For a long while, life was left to grow on its own, until size became an issue. Many changes were called for. So began the age of direct involvement, which only came to an end a few hundred years back. Now, wherever the good of creation goes, so inevitably flows destruction's ills. The growth of humans, with such ripe and unbridled emotions, was too much good not to be destroyed, the culmination of which is right before you, the vampire, this vampire, to be specific, imbued by the damned to suck out the very life and love out of the people he was once counted among, then spread his eternal pain as he saw fit. This would be the darkness's final maneuver on this world, but the Creator wouldn't be outdone. Where the devil's tool were inspired by the vermin of the skies, the warriors of light took the form of a wolf. Problem was, just like those that shot them into being, they're too evenly matched. Hundreds of years and countless souls late, those two groups did more damage and horror than either master thought possible. I hope everyone feels well informed now.
I've learned something pretty damn important. You and Atticus gonna get along fine. Both drink and talk too damn much.
The group has arrived outside of Dracula's keep.
Better start. All of God's so-called mistakes on a single plot of land, and you're their newest nursemaid. Took me less than a week to accept, and I'd never thought they existed. Figured this would be no shock for you.
I doubt I'll ever believe it. What? No, not the overall oddity of the place. Them, those two. How could any woman even pretend to love him, much less truly? If she even knew half of the awful he's caused, this world...
She knows everything he's done. Probably knows shit he didn't claim as his. Knows it, and ain't a bit worried. Says he ain't the same man.
He is no man, if he ever was. That is a dangerous beast, given human form. Anyone who believes different.
Gonna stop you right there. That man is putting a lot of effort into writing his past, knowing full well that could be an eternal pursuit. Does it every day. So I gotta give that its due, and it's proper. Even managed to chip away at the block my sister-in-law calls a heart. That makes him family. Don't take to folks talking down to my family. You hear?
What is...
Protecto spiritu en carne y sangre protecto.
As the words leave the lips of the monk, vines have grown from his staff, ensnaring Van Helsing.
And my friends don't like being disrespected.
What is he doing waving behind me?
That's the protection spell, writes Gringo. You gonna need that working around here? Let's just get back in the cart before you annoy something that might enjoy hurting you.
Dracula and Lena say their goodbye.
Eternally, I am yours. As I live, as I love, it is with you. It is for you.
So, I hear you enjoy a good drink. No, I love a good drink. I enjoy a bad one.
Meanwhile, inside the keep,
I'll be in my penance room until dawn. I advise no disturbances.
in the Granger home in Brickton proper.
I'm so very happy you're here. Feels like ages since I've seen you.
It's been a whole month. What have you been into that's made you this wild?
Nothing. Just happy to see you. Has it started yet? The bleeding? How do you know it's coming?
I see your mother has begun teaching you of womanhood. You left the nasty bits for me to describe, most gracious sister.
Just consider it a charge for room and board. Now don't leave the poor child in suspense.
Well, I can't speak for your mother, even though technically I believe I'm doing just that. There are many changes that occur in these days before it happens. Someday, very soon, you'll find out firsthand. I promise. We will both be here to guide you through it.
Thank you, Auntie Elle. But I do believe you told me even less than Mother did. Can I spend the night in here? We can sit up late and talk. I might finally get some real answers.
No, sorry dear. Auntie Elle will be going directly to bed. It's been an especially long day for all of us.
But Mama, we get so little time together. I want to make it last. Make it great.
Oh, my sweet little Connie. Every moment with you is greater than the one before. Besides, am I really that far away? You can come visit me anytime you like.
Good night, sister.
Perhaps then someday.
Later that night, in the cover of dark, Lena is startled awake.
Constance, did you really think I wouldn't hear you coming in this old place, child?
Oh, damn. I used to be so much better at being a sneak.
Meanwhile, in Dracula's penance room, a small dungeon-like room adorned with chains and religious objects, Dracula pays penance for his sins.
A cross's power doesn't come from its form. Stars need more than just 6 sides to carry his will. The crescent moon is just a shape in the sky without conviction behind it. Those are hollow symbols unless the spirit of a bearer infuses them with a true purpose. Purpose can make 2 switches and a ball of twine rival a galleon cannon in the mind of a vampire, at least. This effigy of the Christian Lord is a perfect example of retention. It was shipped directly from the Vatican, prayed to by every sitting pope since Peter I, brought to and from many a crusade battleground over the ages. This piece carries evidence of both good and ill that comes with belief. I believe we have this in common. There was a time when my greatest interest was which heart I would chop out next. Now the only heart that concerns me is beyond my reach for the next 3 days. So I come here to remind me of my many bad times, as she encourages all of my good. I can't deny that I can be a creature, a man of extremes. One day, if I be so blessed, perchance I can change that with true love and even truer belief.
In a cave above the outskirts of the forest on Dracula's property.
You would not believe how long I have been planning for this night. I could say of my life, well, that sounds far more existential than the path of the evening I have been planning. Tonight, she is all about action, yeah? Sadly, not mine. He would know, he would smell it on you straight away. So I bring help. Cheap, simple, violent help. His kind does not collect a wage. Simply, they enjoy the work. If you like, I can have you remove the gag from your face. Your last words aren't screams.
Your English is still more atrocious after these 10 years. Mi fa retalier et tu peux de ma acheter.
You may begin. Be rough but not disgusting. Finish before morning and dispose where instructed. Yeah? In one piece, oui? I need to search for my missing pets. Who knows what scary things could get into.
We return to outside of the penance room. Eric Lobson awaits his friend.
I would think even you could fill up on self-abuse after this long a night. Should I come back later? I could go a bath with holy water if you'd like.
Actually, yes, help, please.
That must have been 10 lifetimes worth of mea culpas, paid off last night. It's already past midday.
Only really recall the first hour. Then the world fell out from under me. Everything just... Wait. That smell. You have to smell it, too.
What? I don't even know what I'm scenting for.
Blood. Her blood.
East Woods near the border. Should we?
Shit on the Accord. This is too important.
Lopeson and Dracula take off down the path leading to town.
No, she can't be harmed. I won't allow it. What? How did... No!
We just found her out here. Someone broke in, tied up Sarah and Connie. They came for her.
I don't feel... Her pulse is... No, this can't be happening. I can't feel...
Because she's gone. I'm so damn sorry I wasn't there. I know how much you want to fight it, but some things you just can't.
No. You have no clue what can be done. What I can give her. This is nothing. She comes home right now. She'll be fine.
Sorry, that just ain't happening, and you know it. All agreed any activity on your land you deal with. Public land is beyond your bounds, especially a murder. She's gone. Frankly, I shudder to think what you might do with her up there.
Her safety was your responsibility. Where were you?
Stop. Now.
Damn you, Edmund. Now, of all times, you don't just talk. Now you act? What gives you such arrogance?
Not what, who. You did. These were the conditions you put in place in case of this type of incident to protect us all. No exceptions.
You will return my wife to me before the next day's light. No exceptions.
Tell 'em all. The whole damn town. Be ready by daybreak. We ride in force. This situation's played itself out the way they thought it would.
Dracula barges back into his keep.
Ah!
What the hell were you thinking?
Bastards. Stupid. I think they can take... They can't take her. Nothing can take her. Nothing can take her.
I understand your rage, your pain. You doubt me, but I do. That rage has now put every life in this town in jeopardy. You basically just declared war on humanity.
She would want to be breathing. She would want to be alive.
Please, just calm yourself and listen to reason. Think of the love you have found inside.
I am quite bereft of both this moment. Go brief the clutch. Have them muster weapons, long and short. Have Victor secure supplies in the deep cave. Inform Vano of units needed for battle. Then have him take shelter with the rest.
I should be shocked at how quickly that all came back to you. I should be.
And you! Choose a damn allegiance. Now.
I stand at the side of peace. As there seems to be none had here, I will take my leave. Also, never forget, I don't take orders from you. And when the whole world is in ruins, blame only yourself.
This armor's too old. I need something new. Something darker.
Back in town, the crew rallies.
We get there at daybreak. We make it quick.
Call me rude, but if memory serves, I told you so.
Back at Dracula's keep.
I hear they're coming. It's almost dawn. It was a good plan. One I would employ. All of your instructions have been carried out to the letter. What more is required, sir? One very important change. Call me Master.
This has been Dark Days of Brickton, a Nerdities radio play. Vlad Dracula and Rene LeBlanc, played by Mike Higgins. Victor Frankenstein, Herman Granger, Eduardo Sagrado, played by Vinny Landolfo. Vano, leader of the Atlanteans, and Lena Tepish, played by Joe Pravdo. Connie Granger, played by James Patterson. Atticus Smith, Eric Lopeson, and Abraham Van Helsing, played by Kyle Hauser.
Yeah, boy.
And I have been your narrator, Sarah Granger, and Edmund Eskel, Justin Patterson. Thank you, and happy Halloween.
Fuck
bye.